Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Jay's Pre. Before we get into the video, can you please like, subscribe, share, comment? Thank you. Do not mind the coughing in the background. Anyways, as you can see, the title of this video is my spiritual journey. Basically, what I'm doing is documenting my spiritual journey. Take you guys along with me. If you have experiencing the same things that I've been experiencing, please write that below in the comment. If you haven't gone through a spiritual awakening and you haven't realized it, please write that below in the comments. I'm just going to talk about what has been going on with me so far through my spiritual journey, and wonder if anybody else has the same similarities. So like, I wrote myself down some questions. I'm just going to answer them out loud. I'm not going to say the questions, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Once again, I said this already, but please like, share, subscribe, comment, and once again, thank you for taking the time out of the day to click on this video and watch it. So let's get into this video. All right guys, so I keep looking over here is because the questions I asked myself to say in the video. But so just wanted to talk about when I first realized I was going through a spiritual awakening. Okay, yes. So when I first realized I was going through a spiritual awakening, or I didn't know, but this could have been a key moment. What was that? Anyways, this could have been a key moment when I was about 19. I would say 19 or 20. I was going through a lot of depressive situations. The guy I was dating at the time cheated on me. My best friend stopped talking to me. My parents every day was pressuring me into military because I couldn't pass the ASVAB test for military. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just over it. I got to the point I lost like a whole bunch of pounds. I was weighing like 105 because everybody was stressing me out, especially life. I'm like, I sit there and I was just ask God, like, why is this happening to me? My life isn't supposed to be like this. Because every time something bad or sad or traumatic happens to me, I used to tell myself, God, life isn't supposed to be like this. We wasn't put in this earth to be disappointed, sad, angry, and things not going our way. I strongly believe that God didn't put me here to be dealing with such horrible situations. But I do believe that God teaches us lessons, but I know for a fact that God didn't put me in this world to just be depressed, sad, and lonely. I used to always tell myself, like, why would God put me here to be like sad and lonely? Because I feel like I truly feel in my soul I'm a good person, so why somebody with such a good soul would be dealing with such depressing stuff? I was really a good person. I wasn't really outspoken. I was kept to myself, but I was always experiencing situations that I didn't understand. I was like, why is this, like, for instance, I would say this in my head, why are bad things happening today? Okay, this is all part of the spiritual awakening journey. So I used to always ask myself, I'm 19, like, why am I going through this? So that's when that's not when I realized it, but thinking back on it, that's when I probably was in the starting stage of realizing that I have a deeper purpose for life. I knew back then that my purpose was not just to sit here and go through life, work hard, work for somebody else, and just, you know, grow old. No. Okay? That's when I first realized it, when a lot of traumatic events happened to me when I was younger. I used to always ask myself, God didn't put me on this earth to be miserable, basically. Okay? I also want to go over when I started to realize it. Well, that's not really when I started to realize it, what I just said before. That's when I started to feel like I had a deeper piece of life. But when did I start to realize, actually, no, I was going through a spiritual awakening was years later. So I told you that happened at 19. So I'm 24 now. This is when I started to realize that I'm actually going through a awakening. So I started to push forward, 24 years old. That's when I started to realize I was going through a spiritual awakening. So don't know if you guys know this. I'm 24. I have a kid, a 1-year-old, and you know, I live with my baby daddy. We are dating right now. We've been together for 5 years. This all ties into it, so I'm not saying this was for nothing, because this is all caused by spiritual awakening. So we've been together for 5 years, and you know, sometimes our relationship gets rocky, but we broken up for sometimes. We break up sometimes, and we like for a few days. But for one of these times, he broke up with me. He broke up with me for a total of 2 months. Now, it was crazy because we would break up one day and get back to the next day. But this one was for real, and it was hard for me to deal with because when he broke up with me, we were still living together. You know, you ask yourself, like, how do you break up but still live together? Well, for our names are on the lease, okay? 5 years. Why would we not both have our names on the lease? Anyways, we broke up for 2 months. And, you know, it was for real. For real. I really thought it was over. I got into this depressed stage or whatever. Because, you know, he was going out every day, being a guy, talking to other girls because we're single. And I'm not gonna lie, I did that too. After I got over the depression stage. But what happened, what caused my spiritual awakening was when he broke up with me, I got really depressed. Like, to the point I didn't want to move. This is when we first got broken up. To the point I didn't want to move my body. I kept having sad thoughts, and I was getting like crying in the shower. One day I sat on the floor and didn't move my body for over an hour. Because like, you were depressed, that stuff takes over your brain. So that's what triggered my spiritual awakening. Okay, that's what triggered it. But I want to just rewind a little bit before I get even more into what triggered that. Before that was even triggered, days before we broke up, I got into doing something that I really think also triggered it as well. I got really interested in the topic of manifesting, and I feel like this topic of manifesting, okay, you wonder, are you talking about manifestation when you're trying to talk about your spiritual journey? Because it all ties in. So one day I got really interested in doing this 369 method, okay? This is why we were still together, like a week or two before we broke up. Anyways, I got interested in this 369 method, and I was like, okay. I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos on it. So basically what it is, 3 times in the morning, you say what you want to manifest. So if I want to manifest a house, I'd be like, I'm so grateful I manifested a house 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the evening, and 9 times at night. So I would say this, I would do this, you're supposed to do this for 30 days. And for some reason, every time I did this, at the nighttime, when I write it down nighttime, I would be super focused, like, because I'm not working, I'm not just waking up. But the last time of the day, I would be super focused. And every time I did it, all of a sudden, one time I did it and I felt weird, like super weird afterwards. Like, I did some research on it. I'm like, I felt high, basically. And I did some research on it. It's just that my vibrations were really high. Like, my vibrations were very high, and I thought it was weird. Like, why am I feeling like this? I did some research on it, and it's like I'm experiencing a bliss moment. I would feel like high, like I just took some weed, or like I just ate an edible. And I'm like, why am I feeling like this after writing this 369 method? And the high would last for over an hour, and it was scaring me because, like, I've never felt high off of just journaling and paying deep attention to the detail and just talking to the universe and telling the universe what I want. And that's what I think triggered it, because for a few days in a row I kept getting this blissful and high feeling, you know, and it was just a good feeling. I'll say that it was just a good blissful feeling, and I felt high. I was like, to the point I was eating snacks and stuff. People, I would call my family out of nowhere, acting weird. And I think that's one of the things that triggered it, me getting really interested in manifestations. And then, you know, 2 weeks later, my boyfriend at the time, he broke up with me. And I felt like that was like, after he broke up with me, let me see, I'm gonna say probably like 2 weeks later after he broke up with me, I knew that I was going through a spiritual awakening. At first, when he broke up with me, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I was going through one because I was depressed. I was even crying at work and stuff. So one day I was like, you know what, I'm not going to work. I can't do this. I'm depressed and sad. So I took a break from work. And taking breaks from work are really necessary. I took a break from work. I decided to go out, connect with nature. I went to the park, started writing out my goals. I even went to this crystal store called Hippies R Us. This is another thing that happened. Even when I walked into this crystal store, Hippies R Us, I would get another high feeling, like blissful, high vibrations, like I just took a drug or something. Like I just smoked some weed or took an edible. I would feel like that for like every time I walked to that PBR Us crystal store, I felt like that. And I was like, dang, why does this keep happening to me? I never experienced anything like that. So after that day, I started doing a lot of research on it because I don't understand why I'm feeling high and feeling like high vibration, no energy, off of just not smoking weed. Why do I feel like I smoke weed if I didn't? And I did some research, and there's like a word pop up in my head, and it was like spiritual awakening. In that moment, I was like, dang, maybe I am going through a spiritual awakening. Because for those of you that don't know, a tragic or a traumatic event can cause or trigger a spiritual awakening. Like, for instance, if you got a car accident, that can trigger a spiritual awakening because it's a near-death experience. Any near-death experiences could trigger a spiritual awakening. A bad breakup could trigger a spiritual awakening. A divorce could trigger a spiritual awakening. It's not like that for all people, but most of the time, something that triggers a spiritual awakening is just something traumatic happening in your life. You just ask yourself, what is my purpose? What is my meaning? And then you come to realize what your purpose is. So that's what I think of a spiritual awakening is. So that's what calls it. I will call myself like the chosen one, because honestly, I believe that we are born several times. Okay? I feel like God's gonna keep putting us on this earth as different humans until we get it right. And what is my definition of getting it right, or my definition of being chosen one? Chosen one is somebody that is put in this earth, or a soul that is put in this earth to help others and help the universe. So our goal is to wake up other people, help others, give back, you know, take care of nature, change the world. So that's what a chosen one is, me. Somebody that has the courage or just has this deep soul feeling to help others. You know, you really want to help others. Your goals in life is not just to make money. It can be to make money and help others. Use your money to better others. Use your money to give back to others. Give back to homeless, you know. Go to soup kitchens. Donate to those that's hungry in different countries. So that's what I think a chosen one is. Yeah, so chosen one is somebody that has been put on this earth and has a great purpose. And even like a spiritual teacher is a chosen one. You use your talents to teach people and wake people up. And I see a lot of people do that on YouTube. Chosen one is somebody that can trigger spiritual awakenings among other people on the earth. That's what I think a chosen one is. So if you can trigger other people to wake up, I think you're a chosen one. So I feel like we're gonna just keep coming back to life and earth as humans until we get it right, until we wake up the rest of humanity. Okay. Okay, so I also want to go over the signs that I realized, having realized I was going through a spiritual awakening. So that one sign I said earlier was just the blissful moments, feeling happy or high out of nowhere. Maybe that's what it is. I actually want to say something. I haven't experienced this feeling in a while, that blissful high feeling. And I was just like, dang, I really want that feeling back because I like the way it feels. So I've been like saying that to myself in my head for a few days, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even tripping. At work today, I'm just working and I get that feeling again. I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I feeling like this? Why I feel high at work? I felt just, I don't know, happy out of nowhere, like my soul was lifted. Like I just smoked some weed or took an edible. I felt like that at work, and I'm like, why do I feel like this? I haven't felt this feeling in a minute, because I've been wanting to feel that feeling again. Because who doesn't want to feel happy and vibrating off high energies for no reason? Like that is a good feeling. To feel high without doing weed, or to feel happy without having to take a drug or a substance, it's a great feeling. And I've been asking the universe and God to feel that feeling again, and it just came to me at work today. I also did some more research on it, and it was like, sometimes you feel like that when your heart chakra is opening. I'm like, dang, is my heart chakra opening? Also, I'm wearing a rose quartz. It's a heart chakra crystal, I would say. Brings love, joy, and positivity. So that could another thing that triggered me feeling really blissful and happy. Another sign I knew I was going to spiritual awakening. This is a good one. So this was after I did my spiritual awakening research. This is some reason this happens to me on Fridays a lot. I would see a lot of angel numbers, and like to the point of like at first, when I was like first beginning my spiritual journey, I didn't know what the angel numbers were. Like one day on a Friday, I was just working, and every time I looked at the clock, I would see a certain time. So I would see 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5. I'm like, why do I keep looking at the clock at this time? This has to have some type of meaning. So I would go into Google and just like, 111, what does that mean? And it will always say the same answer for each and every angel number, basically saying your spirit guides are looking out for you, they're guiding you. And spirit guides are somebody that, like, family members that could have passed away that's trying to guide you, or just your higher self trying to guide you, or you're just, you know, people from heaven guiding you, just angels guiding you, telling you you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing in life. And that creeped me out, so I started watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos on like angel numbers, and I'm like, dang, so I'm not the only person in this world or universe that see angel numbers repeatedly. I just want to talk about one time that I seen angel numbers and it started to creep me out, because I really didn't understand it. So one day, this was another Friday, because this always happens to me on Fridays. This is when I see the angel numbers the most. So Fridays must be something significant for me, but I don't understand it, but I'm gonna get around to it one day. But on this one Friday, I was like, at 5:55, because this one kept popping up. At 5 o'clock, I clocked 5:55, and I'm like, okay, nothing, just okay. I didn't really think nothing of it. So we went out that day, right? So we was driving up to get some food, and this building just caught my eye. I don't look at buildings, but I was just looking for it, and this building said 555. I'm like, oh hell no. What? Why does the building say 555? Okay, so we got out the car, we walked to get some food, we left, and we drove back. And then another building said 555. At this point, I'm getting a little creeped out. What does 555 mean? Okay, 555 means change. Changes are coming. And then a few days later, I tried to buy a lottery ticket or whatever, and I seen 555 in my receipt, and I'm like, what the heck? What is it trying to tell me? And I still really don't know, but it's just, for me,